It is a crappy rainy day here in Prince Edward Island, but I still want to work on my Mazda, and there's a thing that I've had to do to the interior of it rather than the exterior, which is nice for a change. So I'm going to do it, and I'm actually repairing a past iteration of this thing that I made for my car, and I decided to film it this time because it's kind of cool and kind of worth showing off. So there are the remnants of my old one. It gets bolted to this center cubby that you have in your Mazda here. So any vehicle that has this center cubby, this is going to work on. This is a Mazda Speed 6. I know a lot of Mazda 6s have it, and maybe Mazda 3s, I have no clue. But my old one, I printed before I knew a single thing about 3D printing, and it was ABS and really poorly printed, and it ended up shattering into a million pieces. But it gave me a good year and a bit of use until winter came, and I was kind of rough on it, and it kind of blew up. But we printed this one out of PLA, and I know what I'm doing now, more or less. So there's a shock on the back of it. So what this does is it holds your phone. Now this is something that I designed specifically for my LG G4, which I'm holding right now and recording this video with. But it clips into here. It's actually made for the OtterBox case that I have for it. And there is an RC shock on the back of it with a limiter, and there's some thick oil in here. It was a mixture of some 100K weight and some 90 weight that I had, and I just kind of played with it until I got it how I liked it. So what this does is this gets bolted to your center cubby. I tried just double-sided taping this in the past, lasted for a bit, and then it broke loose, so I was like, screw it. Screw it. Put screws through it and double-sided taped it. And that part was not the weak link, but unfortunately requires you to take your stereo apart. But I've gotten pretty quick at it, and I'm gonna make a little video on how to do it. So what it does is your phone, it folds down like that, compresses the shock, and then whenever you open that, it doesn't just go twang. It kind of slowly and dramatically. I can't do it. Yeah, it does a nice slow one of those, and it's been sitting for a while. Probably could use a little bit more oil, but just for the sake of today, we're gonna throw her in there. So let's do it. So remove your glove box. You gotta take this thing and give her one of those, and then you give her the old squeeze routine, and then you don't have a glove box. And then there is, I believe, a 10mm way in there. And it's pretty much the only bolt that holds your stereo in, except for you gotta take all this crap out and just gotta manhandle it a little bit. I've never broken the clips on this. They seem pretty robust because I know you're gonna be taking it apart. He said probably breaking the clips. So you do that. And then this, there's screws in there. No, this guy. Amazing what you can do to your car just by yanking on things. Now, take your shift knob off, remove this guy, which has a couple wires. Don't scratch your stereo. Thread that back on because those threads are sharp as heck, and you're gonna scratch up some part of your interior. Now there is one Phillips right there, and another Phillips on the other side, and you're going to take those out. I'm going to do that off camera. We got that 10mm bolt out of there. No way you're going to be able to see that. Check that bolt somewhere safe. Now, this part, first time I ever had to do it was a huge pain in the ass. I wonder if I can set my phone down. Yes, I can. You really just got to tug on this in the right way. Pulling on the vents for obvious reasons. There we go. Give it a good pull on the bottom first. Sides, there we go. Now this I really need to get out of the way without scratching anything or yanking on those wires. Which can be done like so. Yeah, sure. Now, there she comes. Oh, there go my roommates. Probably wondering what the fuck I'm doing. Alright, now, And we got Phillips right here. Focus. And Phillips right here. And we're going to take those out, and then we'll get the center cubby out. We took those 2 screws out, and then this whole assembly comes out. And there's this one connector that I unplugged. And now we're working with this, and the only thing that's attached is my aux cord. And if you want to learn how to do that, then Google it. I figured it out. You can figure it out. So yeah, this whole project also kind of assumes that you have an aux jack in here, so that you can have your phone hooked up to your stereo. So now I got those 3 screws, and the reason I had to take this apart is because I have some M3 nuts on the other side, and if I was a smarter man, I would have done something on this side where it would keep those nuts there and stop them from turning, so I wouldn't have to take this whole thing apart every time. But I'm just crossing my fingers that this thing doesn't break again, and if it does, then I'll do this again, whatever. We got the old one out of there. We got the screws inserted into the new one. And obviously my screw holes are already drilled, but what you got to do is just figure out where you want your phone mount to be located thus-wise. And basically push it up as far forward as you can. This barely will clear my G4, so you're definitely not doing this with any phone with a case larger than mine. But these holes should be just big enough where I can push this through. Yep. I'm gonna not bother with the double-sided tape this time because I don't think it really is important. Is that smart? Should I skip the double-sided tape? No, I'm gonna put double-sided tape on it. We got new double-sided tape applied to the new guy. We got the screws put in through there. So these screws thread pretty tightly into that plastic. And these screw holes, you should probably make them, I forget exactly what the size is, but bigger than a 3mm thread, because that's what this uses. So I'm going to take that double-sided tape off, or the paper off. We're going to jam it through there. We're going to tighten 3 nuts on the other side, and then we're going to reinstall everything, and then we will be done. If you're ever in doubt, nut from behind.